I'm trying to figure out if you're going for the shade or for the sun, but it looks like the shade, right?
Yes.
You guys are not sun lovers. I'm with you too. I've had enough work on my tan, so.
Yeah, it's a bit hot.
That's awesome. Well, let me sit down here and situate myself so I can see you all as well.
Okay to keep laying like this?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If you're at your comfort, I'm happy as well too.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, I've got my microphone. You guys are in the camera. I got my interview questions. So the way this works is I've got a list from 1 to 11-ish here. I have a new list that I'm working off of. You choose a number. I'll read the question and then you guys give me your thoughts on it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But before I start, let me learn your names.
I'm Kelly.
Kelly?
Kelly,
Nice to
yeah.
meet you,
Nice
Kelly.
to meet you too.
I'm Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, I was going to guess Mackenzie.
Okay.
Nonsense. My name is Binyam.
Hi. Nice to meet
Kelly
you.
Mackenzie.
Yes.
Cool. So let me ask you, Mackenzie, to choose a number between 1 and 11.
4.
4. I like how decisive you are. You're like, there it is.
Yeah, I got it in a minute.
All right, so the question is, can integrity be sacrificed for the greater good? I often like to start off with maybe defining what we think integrity is, just as a helpful
Yeah.
base.
Yeah.
What do you guys think when you think of integrity?
I think integrity means like, to me, I guess, like sticking to what you believe, what you think is right and wrong, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't know that I necessarily think integrity can be defined fully.
Yeah.
Why do you say that, Mackenzie?
It's fluid. It's moving, I think.
There's a fantastic idea. So I'm just writing mental notes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think integrity it's moving. Like no one knows everything in the world, and I think knowledge is the key to integrity. Figuring out what you're willing to stand for and what you fall for and what happens in the world. Knowledge is the key to that. And I think that integrity is fluid because when you learn more, your integrity or your morals or your standing on things might change.
Do you think you know when you don't see integrity and you can be decisive if it's fluid?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are some helpful markers that you can say collectively we subscribe to when we think of the idea of interpreting integrity?
I think consistency is important.
Yeah.
Making sure that someone, or well, not making sure, but seeing that someone is consistent through their life, in their work situations, in their private relationships, in their public persona, if they're publicly in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, like they're not like changing based on the different like situations or groups of people they're dealing with.
And like changing in the big ways.
Yeah.
Not like,
Yeah.
with this person I'm a little bit more chill, with this person I know that I'm a little bit more bubbly.
Mm-hmm.
It's that their stances on the important things in the world, the stances on things that affect the greater good, the well-being of the world, those things don't change based on the person or the situation you're in.
Yeah.
And that's what I look for in a person that I'm friends with or have in my life, that their integrity, their morals are consistent.
Yeah.
In a way that you both value the same way.
In a way that, yeah, and I'm not saying that integrity is never the same for anybody.
Right.
Like, and that's probably why I say that it's fluid, is that integrity is never the same to, like, we have different versions of integrity.
Sure.
Yeah.
But our versions line up in the same way.
In critical areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the important areas, in the ones where, like, they're almost deal breakers in a personal connected relationship. Like, it's...
This is so fascinating, and I love where you guys are going with this. Follow-up question then on that realm would be, if you were to be transplanted from this cultural context into a radically different cultural context where they have a different version of integrity, would you find your integrity doing some massive shifts? Or would you say, no, this is still what it means to be me?
I think that my integrity and my morals stay with me in
Gotcha.
those situations, like when I've traveled and when I've met new people. I again reach for knowledge in that and learning about the culture or the religion or the place or the situation that I'm in, and I have respect for that and respect for the other people in the world that have different integral feelings than I do. And though we may not align, as long as their integrity, their morals, their ideas of the world are respectful to the greater good, the well-being of the world, then I can respect that even if our feelings of integrity don't align.
And if it doesn't, like
If it doesn't align.
yeah,
Okay.
if it doesn't align, because you included a really helpful caveat saying if it aligns in a certain way of the good of the
Yes.
world, right?
Yes.
And there are settings where we may perceive it isn't, even though they may not have that awareness.
Absolutely. And I think I know what you're getting at
Yeah,
without
yeah.
actually saying it.
Yeah.
But like, as long as, I don't know, as long as there's mutual respect,
Sure.
I can understand that they're not trying to push their integrity onto me and I'm not trying to do the same.
It's helpful when you identify someone's autonomy, saying,
Absolutely.
I'm happy to acknowledge your perspective, even though I totally disagree.
Yes, yeah. And as long as it's not in a fundamental way that's hurting other people.
Sure.
If they, like, there are some cultural aspects and religious aspects, like, I'm not a religious person, but I can appreciate and understand and respect the religions from around the world, and I love that someone has religion or culture to cling to help them through difficult situations. But there are some ideals that I don't necessarily agree with, but as long as they're not being forced on me, I'm not going to force my disagreement onto you. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
Cool. So back to the question again, which we not yet answered. Are there settings in which integrity can be compromised for the common good?
Integrity can be compromised.
And I like how we were starting off saying it's fluid based on the individual. So it's a very personal thing, how people interpret it and exemplify it.
Yeah.
But then, is there a setting in which one can say, I'm going to give up integrity in this setting because it's going to be better for the whole, if you will, communally?
I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I maybe see my integrity and my consistency in what I believe in tiers.
Yeah.
So like lesser tiers,
Yes.
I can
Like a hierarchy.
exactly.
Okay.
I can kind of wrap up and package and put away in certain situations.
Yeah.
But there are like top tier
Non-negotiables.
integrity pieces that I cannot get behind.
Gotcha.
And that I would not, one, put myself in a situation where I would have to abandon those pieces of my integrity. But if I was in that situation, I would opt out as quickly and as seamlessly as I could.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it depends on how close it gets to those core elements for your.
Exactly.
I see. Yeah,
Exactly. It's like the pieces of my psyche or the pieces of my philosophy that make me me. I would, if I gave up those pieces, I would feel less like me. And I believe fully in the greater good, but I need to be consistent and I need to be understanding and feel okay with my choices that I've made.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you think, darling?
I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like my integrity is also in tiers. Like, there are some things that are, like, absolutely, no, I will not give up my integrity. So, yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Kelly, right?
Yes.
My podcast is specifically directed to young men.
Okay.
In general, do you feel young men are nailing it in the sphere of integrity, or do you find that they're experiencing challenges that they have to sort of navigate and struggle with?
I am not a young man.
I picked up on a few intel.
Yes, I can only speak from what I've seen and what
Yes.
I've interacted with.
Which-
Yeah.
But it seems like there are some struggles. There are some
What are the
maybe internal conflicts.
Yeah.
obvious ones that you've observed in your travels?
To me,
Yes.
from what I've seen, is the lack of wanting to learn more. The lack of striving for the knowledge to help you become a full-fledged, well-rounded person.
Yeah.
And if something or someone disagrees, it's an immediate argument or conflict rather than a learning experience.
Yeah.
And I'm not big on that.
Yeah, I agree. Like the not wanting to like learn more
Yeah.
and you know, open to other people's like experiences or what other people know. They're just kind of like stuck in what they know, and they may not want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, yeah, I can only speak on like what I have seen or
Observed,
what
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
experienced. But yeah, I think they maybe are going through a little bit of a challenge right now. But
I think that the people who have the best relationships, the most completely understanding relationships, and the long-term relationships with people, whether platonically or romantically, in a work experience way,
Yeah.
they're open to someone who knows more. They're open to learning through a new perspective and being able to see the world differently. And I think that's deeply important.
If you had the collective ears of young men who are saying, Mackenzie, Kelly, help us sort out where to start, because we want to experience integrity, but we don't know where to start. What are some helpful suggestions you might pose to them as a starting place?
I would say, like, honestly, just be open to conversations with every kind of person. Like, you know, be more like willing to start more conversations with people. And if you have a differing opinion, like, instead of focusing on like the differing opinions, having a general conversation and just completely having an open mind when you're doing so, I think it's a great start.
I'd say start internally. Start by soul searching. Start by really seeking who you are as a person, what's important to you. If you do subscribe to your integrity and your morals come in tiers, what are your tiers? What do they look like? What are you not willing to let go of? What is so deeply important to you that you're willing to lose the people you love supporting? I think it's important to know what you stand for.
Such good stuff. Oh, okay. But here's the thing. Starting internally, love it. Freaky zone for so many.
Absolutely.
How do they get over that little hump? No, it's not a little hump. It's a huge hump.
It's a
of,
huge hill. It's a mountain.
It's a big one.
like,
Yes.
That's a daunting thing, especially if you were to ask them to do it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
What are some compelling things you'd say? Here's a little nudge to help you walk through that zone of like
Yeah.
discomfort and familiarity.
Well, I am big on respecting your own boundaries. So do it in a place that comes from a good thing. Not that I need to learn that I am doing an incorrect thing and I need to fix myself.
Yeah.
That I need to learn myself better so I can better interact with people in my world. So that I can be open to learning, because I think a lot of the not being open to new pieces of knowledge comes from like lacking self-esteem or a self-confidence thing, that they don't want to be told they're wrong,
Yeah.
even though that's not what moral and ethical and integral conversations are. It's not that you're wrong and I'm right, it's that we have differing opinions, and maybe we can talk about that.
It's getting chilly, aren't
It's
you?
Yeah, a
getting
little bit.
cold.
It's getting a
We
little
started.
cold. Yeah.
Last question, if I may.
Yes.
Any questions for me?
What made you start your podcast?
Yeah.
I appreciate the question.
Yeah.
Painful experience
Yeah.
in this zone of living without integrity for years, and learning the hard way. Lessons that I'd rather others not have to learn the hard way. Desire once upon a time of experiencing what I currently experience, but having inaccessibility or the sense that it was out of reach. And maybe there are others who are where I once was. So the whole theme of what I'm doing now is to try and inspire. It's called Inspiring Young Men to Integrity, simply. But at least making it accessible and saying, here's some helpful things to watch out for or consider embarking on, or what does it look like to even start the conversation going. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, you
Yeah,
two.
thank you. Yeah.
I'll let you get warm again here.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I'm delighted to meet you both.
Yeah.
Kelly, Mackenzie,
Yes.
hope I see you again. I can't see, or I won't recognize you with the glasses on because sunglasses always throw me off.
Yeah,
I don't know if
no,
you-
totally. Yeah.
I think I'll recognize you guys.
Yeah.
If you see me, please flag me down and say, hey!
Yeah, no,
Good.
awesome. Yeah, we
Thank you
totally
so
would.
much.
Yeah, thank
Pleasure
you.
was mine,
Appreciate it.
ladies.
Yeah, awesome.
Hope to see you again.
Yeah.
Cheers for now.
Yeah, bye-bye.
It's not gonna rain, do you think, is it?
It didn't have rain in the forecast.
It still doesn't. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.